Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Drives. Oh, what a ball! Holy cow, the defensive gem of the year!
Hey, I love the money, attracted, fucking on the actress. Call me Stone Cold, I got her flipping on the mattress. Took her to see Luca, we first flight out of Dallas. I just put some digits on the scale and made it balance. Love the money, attracted, fucking on the actress. Call me Stone Cold, I got her flipping on the mattress. Took her to see Luca, we first flight out of Dallas. I just put some digits on the scale and made it balance. Hit my line, I'm taxing. I've been off them drugs, back to back, now it's a habit. Posted in the slums with them drums, Lenny Kravitz. Shaq in 92, I hit the...
YouTube podcast world, man. What's up, family? You know the name, man. Pays and Plays podcast here. Back from a little 2-week hiatus. Wildcard playoff weekend picks, predictions. Y'all know I was gonna come back for this, right? Enjoying the holidays, enjoying some mental rest and all that stuff. Y'all know the last 2 weeks has been kind of pointless games. Even though I have been on YouTube short, that still will be a thing. As the season ends, I will probably do college basketball, maybe, because I'm more into that. Some sports maybe down the road. I'll do YouTube shorts with that, TikTok as well. Available on all platforms. So podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple, available on Instagram, TikTok. Instagram is Pays and Plays _podcast. TikTok Pays and Plays podcast. TikTok now is starting to fuck with me, bro. I can see the interaction I'm getting. Even the trolls starting to set when I'm making my picks right. And shout out to this jersey, bro. I had to, right? Hold on, let me do the stand, bro. The Crispy Supreme, you feel me? Yes, this is all stitched patchwork. The 30th anniversary season. The Captain Patch. Yes, this is all patch, bro. One of the hardest jerseys Supreme dropped this past fall, winter 24 season. So I had to cop this one. But anyway, enough with a chit chat. Let's get right to the business with it. Saturday, we're going to break it up like that. So Saturday, we got 2 games. The first one, LA Chargers traveling to Houston, take on the Texans. Texans plus 2.5 point dogs. Best bet right here. You already know I'm going with the Chargers to win and cover. Every time they have one, you can look this up this year, they covered. I'm not making it up. Not making it up. You can look it up. Even against even when they were dogs, they must have been covering. But this one, Harbaugh has his team running, bro. I like the fact that they did play their starters all game this past week. Gets that momentum going. They go into Houston. Listen, I respect Stroud, but this is a sophomore slump season. And Harbaugh, the one guy that shut down CJ Stroud during his time in Ohio State is in the pros. So you think one person who doesn't understand CJ Stroud won't be Harbaugh? Come on now. Listen, I like what Houston has been doing. You know, the year was kind of it was a mid-year because your division was so bad. It was a lot easier for you to win, but I'm going Chargers to win and cover. I took it at 2.5. I took it at -3. Make it the best bet for me, bro. This is definitely the one. And I'm going to entertain some of the over-under. So it's 43.5. That's the over-under. I would lean towards over because it's right there between that 44 number. I think it could be like a 20. It could be like a 20. I'm going to say it's going to be a 27-10 game. Well, dang, that makes it 37. I'm going to say maybe 28. I'll be considerate. I'll say 28-20. I think Houston may get like a little late game. So it'll be something like that, bro. But I do think 43.5 is very low. I know it was a playoff game, and I know things are a little different, but this is probably the lowest total of the week. And I do like the under. I like the overcorrection, 43.5. So Chargers -2.5. Right now you can get it. And I do like the over 43.5. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to B-More, shout out to the DMV, to take on the Ravens. Ravens 9.5 point favorites. Ravens to win, Steelers to cover. Typical division matchup, bro, in the playoffs. So, I mean, I know Tomlin didn't do good last time they played at Baltimore as far as coaching because actually they were actually in that game until Russ just started doing dumb stuff. So if they play anywhere close to how they played the Bengals this past week, I can see it being a close game. Over under is 44.5. I will leave under because I don't know how much Pittsburgh will score. I know Baltimore could probably drop 20, 30 on you, but I just don't know how much can Pittsburgh really score on you. That's really my main concern. And yeah, that's enough on that one. Like I said, division games is I'm usually gonna take a division road dog, especially if it's in the playoffs. That's kind of how it is because that was a third time charm situation, and these teams know one another, bro. Y'all know how it goes. Next game, this is Sunday now. So we got two Sunday games. Correction, we got three Sunday games and then the one Monday night game. So this is the 1 o'clock game. We got the Denver Broncos traveling to Buffalo, take on the Bills. Bills 8.5 point favorites. I'm gonna go Bills to win and cover. Y'all know I don't like these big numbers, but 8.5. If it drops down to like 7, I would consider taking Buffalo as the best bet. So kind of that borderline right now. When it comes to the Broncos, listen, I like what Bo Nix have done. I like what Sean Payton has done with them. I mean, he took a big risk on them. I mean, every draft pick is a risk, but that one was the one where I was like, oh, oh. But listen, Josh Allen has just been playing lights out this year, and that's really why I think you just cannot go against him. I went against him last playoffs when I picked the Steelers to cover. Didn't work out very well in the second half. I think the first half it may be a little slow. Uh, I don't know, bro. That 8.5 is just a lot. Over under is 47.5. I would lean under 47.5 only because I don't know how can Denver. I mean, it's about the same elements, bro. Now that I think about it, it's just that one has standard air, one doesn't. So I'm actually going to lean towards the over. I just think Buffalo is going to drop a lot of points. And if Denver can drop about 17 points, I think that's a good dance partner because we know the Bills can drop points on anybody. Josh Allen's been throwing touchdowns to himself pretty much. I mean, you can't make this up. This guy is MVP. And then the one thing, reason why I'm going to say he's MVP over Lamar, I'm going to talk about this real briefly. I know Lamar Jackson's stats have been crazy, and honestly, you could argue maybe better than last season's. It's just the fact that also what Josh Allen has been doing all year, and then you beat the Chiefs. I know everyone is posterizing the Chiefs, so the fact that he did beat the Chiefs, and then the one thing that people don't know, like this guy has a broken, not it's a broken left hand. I mean, he has a broken left hand, bro. He's playing with a broken bone in his left hand, and I mean, it's not his throwing hand, but it's the fact that he's doing all of this still with broken bones in his hand. I think that is kind of more amazing, and the numbers he's putting up is crazy. So, listen, if Josh Allen didn't have this hell of a season, I wouldn't mind seeing LJ being a back-to-back MVP because we've seen back-to-back MVPs obviously recently. So, but this year in particular, though, Josh Allen has been that guy. But anyway, like I mentioned, though, Bills 8.5. I picked them to cover. Next game, we got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Eagles 4.5 point favorites. I want to say Packers to cover, Eagles to win, but I mean, we don't know Watson. I think Watson's not going to play. I mean, you get hurt on a non-contact play, and that usually is not good. Let's just kind of be honest. You rather just get hit and let something happen that way. I know that sounds weird saying it, but when you do something non-contact injury form, that's even more rough. And Jordan Love and Malik Willis both had hand injuries. Like that's the thing that gets me. And the only thing I can say that I mean, listen, I know it was the first game of the year this past season, and it was a shootout. And then Jordan Love gets hurt right in the end when they were moving the ball down the field and they lost. I could see it being something like that where it could be a 3 point game. It could be a 2 point game because these teams did play close. Over under, I'm looking at is 46.5. This is a borderline best bet. You're hearing it right here. Over 46.5. The perfect partners. Philly is explosive. Green Bay can at least be in the 20s. I can at least see both teams being in the mid 20s, and the over is going to cash. That's why I also think the Packers might be able to cover the 4.5. But if it keeps getting juiced up to 5.5, 6, I might have to make a decision to go on the Packers side. I know I haven't bet my team all year like this. I betted them when they play the Titans, and hell, Malik Willis had to come in and play. So we're just, not picking a side in this game. Like I said, I would pick Green Bay to cover, but I know Philly's going to win regardless. I just like the 46.5. If you are unsure on picking Green Bay for a whole game, I know I've been saying this about Philly all year. Maybe take Green Bay in the first half quarter. Maybe spread, depending on what the line is, maybe the spread, maybe the money line, because the Eagles eventually will snap into place. And we also have to have consideration that Hurts has not played in 2 weeks since that concussion. I'm sure he's well and ready to play, but it's the fact that there is going to be a such thing as rust for him compared to maybe the other players. So let's keep that in mind too. Next game, you got the Washington Commanders traveling to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers minus 3-point favorites. Give me the Bucs to win and cover. I actually like this total a lot more better, and this is a borderline best bet for that one. I like the under 50.5. I don't see too many. I don't see it being a shootout. This is the Sunday night football game too, so if you know how I am about prime time unders to a degree, even though this year there's been a lot higher scoring, but when it comes to this game, I'm going with the Bucs. They played them earlier this year, and I know that might be some signs, but you can look at what can make Jaden Daniels uncomfortable. The fact that they got a front seven that can give run offenses problems. We know Jaden Daniels can run, but it's the fact that they got guys that can catch him, that can run after him, all of that. We know the secondary is bad. I think that is caution to why I'm saying borderline best bet, because the secondary for the Bucs is awful. It's god awful. I mean, they should win this first round one. I don't know if they can get past the second round depending on who they play because of that secondary. And the same problem with Washington, which makes me a little more anxious on saying a borderline best bet with the 50.5 under, because they don't have a secondary. I just see it kind of being controlled a little bit, though, more on the Buccaneers side. If they can contain Jane Daniels from scoring anywhere around the 17s to 20s, like I said, 50.5 was very a lot for a game in the playoffs. On top of that, this is, I want to say, what I'm looking at right now, this is the highest total of the week. I mean, I just, like I said, bro, this game right here for some reason leans under to me, but I would still take Tampa to win and cover, though. And lastly, we got the Monday Night Football playoffs. And I just told somebody this yet last night. I said, I believe one year we will get a Super Bowl on a Monday because ESPN is going to want something. They already getting 2 playoff games, sometimes 3 play. I think they get 3 playoff games this year. So that should kind of tell you about, look, it's going to happen one year. ESPN gets all these other things. You think Walt Disney's not going to want that money for that Super Bowl? Come on now. But anyway, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the LA Rams. This line has changed. It was 2.5 Vikings. Now it's 1.5 Vikings. I don't care. Give me the Rams to win and cover this game. I know they played earlier this year too. A lot of these matchups, we can all say they all have played each other, at least, except for Chargers and Texans and Broncos and Bills. I don't think those 2 teams played, those teams, but the other ones we all know they have played at least once or twice this season. I'm going with the Rams still to win and cover. Sean McVay, yes, I know Kevin McConnell's been a great coach this year, and I almost feel like, listen, the approach the Lions did is how I think the Rams should do it, right? And the Rams, let me explain. The Rams, if you can argue right now in this present time, have a better D line than the Lions. And the Lions got after Sam Darnold. So Jared Verse, Frisk, so they're 2 big rookies, but they are big impactful players on that D line. I see ruckus going around with it. And like I said, McVay coat was under, well, O'Connell was actually under McVay. And I know I usually say the student really learns more from the teacher, but McVay is still a good coach, bro. I don't overreact from last week because they lost to the Seahawks. That game didn't matter, okay? So let's stop. Just stop. All right, we're going to go with the Rams to win and cover. I'm going to pick one dog outright to win, and it's going to be the Rams to win this one. You guys like the content, man. Listen, playoffs, we here. Yes, playoffs. We are here. And less games, unfortunately, but listen, man, it's more excitement. I think this playoffs will be very crazy. First round, this is so unpredictable, bro. We got first round of NFL, and we got the college football Final Four playoffs this week. So you gotta love football, man. So yeah, check the content out, man. Like, subscribe, whatever. Pass the word around, man. This will be a great playoff. We had a great season, an overall great season. I mean, what, 45 wins, 45 and 23. Come on, man. This is way better last season than we did. So show love, man. And that's always, man. Let's get this money out here and let's be good.